In this video, you're going to learn how to play Riff by Mighty Riff, Heartbreaker by Led Zeppelin. What's going on? Welcome to Beholden to the Riff. My name is Jared. Thank you so much for checking out this channel. I'm really excited to get into this one. I am a huge Led Zeppelin fan, and John Paul Jones is a beast. We're going to break this thing down into 4 main riffs. We'll play each of the phrases nice and slow, highlighting any tips or tricks that might help you really nail this thing. Then we'll play it at full speed with the original song. As always, I definitely recommend downloading the interactive tabs. There's a link below. These things rule. For the tone in this one, I'm using a Dark Glass M500 amp head, ran through a 4x12 cab simulator, and this one's got some dirt on there, so I threw on the vintage microtubes kind of fuzz distortion setting on here. Sounds killer. This song is in standard tuning, so grab your axe, tune up, let's do this. Riff number 1 is rooted in the blues and is an absolute banger. This classic riff is built on a minor blues pentatonic scale and is the ultimate bass line. Let's check it out. So the riff starts out here, 5th fret, E string. We're going to use our 3rd finger. Then we're going to come up to the 3rd fret, A string. Going to hit that with our 1st finger. Then we're going to shift, 1st finger, 5th fret. We're going to go 5, 6, 7. Finishing off 3rd fret, E string with a little bend. Comes back in with 4 notes on the 5th fret here, E string. Then it's the same thing. So the next part of the riff, we shift up 2 frets, 3rd finger on the 7th fret, E string, and then we play the exact same pattern, essentially. The only difference being on the second time, we're going to bend on the 7th fret E string. Once you get this thing under your fingers, you can throw in those bends, the last note of each kind of phrase. This bend here, then when we come up here, get that nasty bend here. Just classic riff. Here's the first part played nice and slow. Riff number 2 is played over the verse and uses power chords on the higher 2 strings. This riff is so cool and is a testament to the genius of John Paul Jones. Let's check it out. All right, so here's those power chords. We are playing 7th fret on the D string, 9th fret on the G string. This is an A power chord. We're going to play this one and slide up to the C power chord up here, 10th fret, 12th fret. Kind of give it a little slide out of it. First 3 measures play the same thing. fourth measure. And it's kind of like a guitar part. Has this rhythm going on in the background. The last little part of the phrase is on the 7th fret, D and G strings. He hits 2 notes sliding out, slides out from the 7th. Then he hits his 5th fret on the way down. Kind of establishing the beat. Just an amazing line. During the second and third verses, the bass line gets a little bit busier and adds a little more of that kind of syncopated feel to it. For the last part of this lesson, I'm going to play through the ending part so you get a chance to hear it. Riff number 3 starts out the same way as riff number 1, just in a different place on the fretboard. We're going to play that same idea, kind of climbing up the neck, and then the riff finishes off with what I think is my favorite part in the song. Let's check it out. We're going to start here, 3rd finger, 3rd fret, playing essentially the same as riff number 1. This gets a little busier on this chromatic line. We play that a couple times, then we play the same exact thing starting 5th fret. Then we play the same thing, 7th fret. Then we go into, I think this is my favorite part of the song. I didn't realize this was in here until I started working this thing up. This is just awesome. We start here on the 7th fret on the A string, and then we got a bunch of fills in there. Everything is happening 7th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret. Then we actually going to go down to the 3rd fret on the E string. Here's the phrase played slowly. Can be a little tricky getting from the 7th fret A string to the 7th fret E string. At that speed, it's tough to keep it sounding clean. And same thing with this descending 7, 5, 3 run. At speed, it's tough. Can get really sloppy real easily. From there, we're going to finish off kind of going between the open E and then the 7th fret E on the A string here. Just killer. Riff number 4 is played during the guitar solo in the part when the full band comes back in after the Jimmy Page shred fest. This riff really changes up the rhythm and complements the guitars perfectly. Let's check it out. the riff starts 5th fret E string, then we go 3rd fret A string, this shape we've been doing this whole song. Then we're going to come up to the 5th fret D string and go 5, 4, 5. Adds a nice character to it, kind of spices things up a little bit. So next phrase starts 5th fret, goes up to the 3rd fret, just like before. This time we're going to bend this 3rd fret here and kind of hang on to it. Then come up to the 2nd fret, then 5, 3 on the A string. Really cool line and really interesting timing. Here's the second half of riff number 4, kind of after the repeats. Thank you so much for checking out this video. And if you dig a lesson, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button. It really helps a lot.